Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying.
Gunshots inside a Minnesota church as students mark the new school year. The young students killed and where the investigation stands right now. Welcome back. I'm Dick Brennan. Tonight, there is unimaginable grief in Minneapolis. 2 children were killed. 17 others, mostly children, were injured in a shooting. The children had gathered for a mass at a Catholic school. Lana Zak joins us live from the scene tonight. Good evening, Lana.
Good evening, Dick. It is such a heavy story to be reporting here this evening. Here is the latest that we understand. And in this ongoing investigation, police have executed at least 4 search warrants, including here at Annunciation Catholic School and Church. At the 3 residences in the area, they have recovered additional firearms. They're also poring over the shooter's social media postings, trying to understand a motive in what is frankly an incomprehensible tragedy. Parents walked hand in hand with their children away from Annunciation Catholic School, tears flowing after a deadly shooting during a morning mass.
At this point, we know we have a total of 19 victims from this tragedy. 2 were young children, ages 8 and 10, that were sitting in the pews at mass when they were shot and killed.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the shooter was 23-year-old Robin Westman, who opened fire from outside the church with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, all legally purchased.
It was maybe 3 minutes in, the first shot fired.
5th grader Weston Halsney said he was just 2 seats away from the stained glass windows.
The first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something, and then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew, and then I covered my head. My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
Children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children.
Law enforcement is looking into the shooter's writings and online posts for a possible motive. But as details emerge about the shooter, Minneapolis mayor says the focus should be on the victims and preventing future tragedy.
Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around these families with every bit of love that we can possibly show.
This was just the 3rd day of the school year for Annunciation Catholic School, which goes from pre-K to 8th grade. Now, President Trump has ordered that flags be flown at half-staff through the remainder of the week. Meanwhile, as you heard, local officials are really demanding that greater actions be taken. So as Governor Walz says, no parent ever has to receive the kind of phone calls, again, that parents received here in Minneapolis today. Dick?
Yes, Lana, and it brings me back to 13 years ago, Sandy Hook, here in our area. The incredibly awful story of losing all those children. You just described the unimaginable reporting, the heavy reporting. What is happening there tonight? What is the feel? It just must be so devastating.
You know, all of these tragedies, and I remember just crying while writing up the story for Sandy Hook when I covered that story, one of my first mass shootings. But they are all both absolutely unique, and there is this shared tragedy that runs as a through line through all of these shootings. We have been seeing community members pouring in. They've been bringing flowers. We saw one family with the child, one of their children still wearing their school uniform from here, and another being held in their parents' arms, holding a teddy bear. The father had a brave face on, but red eyes that, for me, I could understand as a parent what was going on behind that brave face. There is just the slightest bit of good news that as we're about to go to a vigil to remember those victims, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old that will never come home again to their families, at least for the 14 children who were transported to area hospitals with gunshot wounds, they are now expected all to survive. Dick?
Thank God for that, Lana. And then to listen to that fifth grader talk the way he was talking, it's just so awful. But we really
that tiny voice.
Oh, yes, that tiny voice and what he was saying and what the parents and the grandparents are going through. Lana Zak, thank you for your reporting. We really appreciate it and trying to bring to us the feelings, the pain coming out of Minneapolis. Lana Zak in Minneapolis, thank you so much. As we learn more about the young victims and the investigation, stay with CBS News New York. We'll bring you the latest on how they're being remembered on the air and online at cbsnewyork.com.